Paul Jehovah Called here. You're welcome indeed to another edition of the Irish at Home and Abroad. Well, as you know, Mayo is the adventure capital of Ireland, a passport to paradise. And here in Castlebar, which is the commercial and retail centre of the county, is Lough Lannagh Holiday Village, which has been developed as an adventure hub over the past few years. And I'm here to meet Geraldine and Paul Lennon, who run this unique tourist attraction, which incidentally is the only one of its kind in the country. Oh, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, come on in.
Good place here and that.
Yeah.
Food smells good. Food smells good.
We'll sort you out before you leave.
Lovely.
Something tasty and substantial.
Look forward to that.
Good stuff.
Paul, you come from a hotel background.
Yes, that's right. Myself and Geraldine both are hotel trained and worked in hotels for years. We worked in the UK, in Ireland, a little bit in Canada and Bermuda, and then finally we came to Castlebar.
So apart from running the place with your wife Geraldine, you're also the head chef here.
Yes. The recession brought me that gift. And now, as we come out of it, I'll be getting more help in the kitchen, but that's what we do. We do everything ourselves. We have a small, tight team here.
So how many can you cater for?
So we can take, this weekend we have 125 people staying, and we'll have them for breakfast.
That's a full house now.
We can take up to 170.
All right.
And when we're full, it's rocking. It's very, very busy, and we're full on. And soon, as the season progresses, we will be full. And we have conferences and training courses and residential groups for sports and activities. They do their sports and recreation here, and then we feed them good bed, good shower, good breakfast, and off they go.
So for the breakfast in the mornings then,
Yeah.
is your typical Irish breakfast? Or?
You can't beat it, Henry, for the full day ahead. Full Irish breakfast, local products, sausage, bacon, eggs, all of that. Homemade soda bread, tea and coffee, a lot of fresh fruit these days, yogurts, seeds, porridge, all the new stuff is very much in vogue. And now also vegetarian and vegan.
Yeah. Geraldine, tell me about Lough Lannagh Holiday Village.
Well, Lough Lannagh Holiday Village is in the heart of Castlebar. It's really a great touring base for visiting Mayo and beyond. We're a very quiet location, but we're also in walking distance of the town. So you can kind of get away from everything and kind of retreat back and enjoy nature. But you can also go and walk into town and kind of enjoy everything that Castlebar has to offer. We're also, there would be a lot of activities that would take place here, and I suppose we'd have quite a diverse group of guests that would tend to stay with us. It could be anything from, just a couple going on holiday to kind of explore Mayo. And usually what tends to happen is they might sort of stay here for one night, but when they actually see what the location is like and that, I can do day trips to, the Cage of Fields, or I can go to Galway, and it's all commutable and so much to do, and they usually end up extending their stay. We'd also have groups that would stay with us. So, families and individuals and groups are very welcome here. And it could be anything from maybe a family reunion, a wedding, a christening, to maybe having a poetry retreat or an art weekend, or sports activities. There would be quite a lot of activities on the lake, but also because of our location, it works really well when it might be on Achill Island or might be in Foxford or whatever. So from a location point of view, it works really well for the visitor. And we'd also have a lot of people coming back who might be kind of tracing their roots. And I suppose a lot of people would come back and visit and sort of have happy memories. And I suppose from our point of view, we would say we make memories for people. We tend to tailor make, the visit for them. We would help them in that, you have some people who want to do everything, and you've other people who just want to potter around.
Here we go. This will set you up for the day.
Oh gosh, that looks great. Oh, the full Irish. Well, I have my full Irish and beautiful homemade scones, homemade jam, and they even do their own herbs here in Lough Lannagh Village. So how could you go wrong? So I'm all set for a very active and a great day here at Lough Lannagh Holiday Village.
It's a great location. It was the first on the western coast of Ireland for indoor tennis courts. So we have 4 indoor tennis courts and we have 2 outdoor tennis courts, as well as a large hall for holding events. We have our lovely cosy bar inside and great parking facilities. And we're able to facilitate a lot of disabled groups and many other groups that come and use the facilities here.
And of course you host a lot of competitions here.
Yeah, we have a number of tournaments during the year, and because we're close to Lough Lannagh village, it means that the people who travel here from all parts of the country and beyond are able to compete in the tournaments here and also to stay in Lough Lannagh village, and it means it's very close, so it's very handy for them.
If people want to book, if they're visiting the area, how do they go about booking a game here?
Well, we have a green fee system in operation at the club, and the contact details are on the outside of the club. There's signage there. As well as that, because everybody who's involved in the club is around an awful lot, there are constantly people here and plenty of people to ask and see what can be done. And as well as that, we have coaches here on a daily basis from early in the morning to late in the evening who can pass on the information.
So this morning, Henry, we have our annual or our weekly park run event. It's a 5k free event for anyone that wants to join.
And it starts where and ends where?
So we start here at the tennis club and we take in a lap of Lough Lannagh, do 2 laps. One takes in the hill at the back and you can see the view of Castlebar.
It must be one of the most scenic runs in Ireland.
Oh, it is, of course, with the lake and Castlebar in the background. Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
And how many would participate in this on a weekly basis?
So we would have, on average, maybe about 65 on a weekly basis. We have 1,900 registered here in Castlebar alone, so 65 is our average weekly.
And is there any special criteria needed?
No, anyone can join, whether you want to run or walk. Anyone is free to join us. It's a free event. All you need to do is register on parkrun.ie and bring your barcode. Once you're registered, then you can partake in any park run around the world.
And do you get a lot of visitors coming to?
Yeah, we would have a good few. We would have maybe 2 to 4 weekly that would come from anywhere in Ireland or England. Yeah.
And what do they normally enjoy about this particular run?
They love to get, well, the hill, I suppose, is very, there's a hill on our course and they love the hill.
Very demanding.
Demanding, yes. And then the nice cup of tea we have afterwards here with Paul and the tennis club, they enjoy that.
Right, okay. And your own role in all of this, Paula?
I be one of the run directors. There's 6 or 8 of us in total, so we have a rota going. We do it every 2 months. But I'd volunteer a lot. I have kids, so I bring the kids and we volunteer. So it's a big family event, free event, yeah.
It was lovely doing it, and there's one little insidious hill there, you know, and everybody told me about the hill, but it was lovely to get on the other side of it as well, and it's a smashing course here.
Ryan, you're a regular on the park one here in Lough Lannagh.
That's right, yeah. Every Saturday, whatever Saturday I'm around, I try and run it, and also the volunteering aspect. You have to take that into account every few weeks. It won't happen without the volunteers. So there's a great old buzz here every Saturday morning, whether you run it, jog it, walk it, or do the volunteering.
The dragon boat is it's originally a Chinese sport. That's where it originated, and in recent years it has become really, really popular throughout Europe and Indonesia and places like that as well. So in the last number of years, maybe the last 7 years, it has become hugely popular in Ireland, and there's about 12 or 13 teams now set up around the country. So it's known as being the fastest growing sport in the country at the moment. A dragon boat consists of 10 seats, which holds 2 people per seat. So there's 20 paddlers, and then we've the helm on the end who decides which route we're taking. They direct the boat, and then the drummer, which is the job I've got here today.
You got the easy job.
Yeah, well, they say the drummer is the first person to go into the water when it capsizes.
Oh, right, okay.
So I don't know, but it's a great sport. We're the Greenway Dragon Boat Club here in Castlebar. And we set up just over 2 years ago, based at Lough Lannagh Holiday Village, and Mayo County Council were hugely important in helping us set up, and they granted us money to get us going. We now have 2 boats, but primarily when we did start it was for a cancer team. We set up a cancer team for women who've had breast cancer, mostly because it's very beneficial health-wise for ladies who've had problems with lymphedema post-mastectomy, you know, to help get rid of some of the problems by this gentle paddling. Even though it's not easy paddling, but it's just the action of the paddling is what helps.
And what's it like out there on Lough Lannagh?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, when you go out on the water, well, it can be choppy at times. I mean, obviously we don't go out if it's very windy, but on a day like today, it's just lovely. Once you go out on the water, all your mind completely clears. All you hear is what the helm is calling. So you're not bothered about your worries or your problems or what you're having for dinner later this evening. It all just disappears out there.
And how far can you go?
We can, well, at the moment, we can go up to the next part of the lake, which is a bigger section than this, and it's lovely because it's totally cut off from civilization up there. It's lovely. But eventually we're hoping that the Blue Way will be developed right up to Bilberry, which will go 6 miles out the Westport Road, and we'll be able to take the boats up there. At the moment, kayaks can get all the way up there, but there's a weir that prevents us. But when the Blue Way goes in, which is hopefully in the big plan to come, we'll be able to take the boat up there for longer spins.
Well, I'm here enjoying a lovely boat ride on Lough Lannagh. Well, lots more to see and do in part 2, so don't go away. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Do many visitors that stay in Lough Lannagh, do they avail of the water sports?
Yeah, that's one of the key things that since I've started working with Mayo Adventure Experience and Lough Lannagh is that we're trying to do is attract adventure tourists into the area to stay, have their accommodation, have their food in Lough Lannagh, head into the town for a couple of drinks and some dinner in the evenings, and then also then come out on the lake, stand-up paddleboarding, canoeing, raft building. We've also a monster sup which can have up to 16 people on it. So there's loads of activities for them to do once they come into Lough Lannagh.
And what's your own role here, Ronan?
So my own role at the moment with Mayo Adventure Experience is as a senior instructor. So just overseeing the activities on a daily basis, working with the summer camps, working with the school tours. We would also do a lot of team building with them, so working through the GMIT and the experience of the outdoor education programme, bringing team building together and structured programs for them.
So a lot of activity here for the visitors.
There's loads of activity for visitors. There's loads of activities for people in the town. It's a really one-stop place for having a great time.
And it's hard to believe that it's right in the heart of Castlebar. This wonderful facility.
For me, most will notice I'm not a Mayo person myself. It's absolutely amazing to have such an amenity in the town for local people and to also attract visitors. The big thing for me in a tourism background is if we can attract visitors, we can attract income into the town.
Busy day ahead.
A huge day ahead. We've about 100 people checking in to the village, and some of them will be out on the water with us as well. So it's going to be interesting.
Another popular activity here at Lough Lannagh Holiday Village is cycling along the greenway, which actually starts right here. The man who runs is right beside me, Fergus Walsh. You're very welcome indeed, Fergus.
Thanks very much, Henry.
Now, you set up bikes and boards.
That's right, we set it up in 2015, just around the time that the greenways were becoming popular in Ireland. We have a great greenway here that runs from bikes and boards here at Lough Lannagh out to the National Museum in Turlough, of course.
Mm-hmm. And you came back from abroad to set up this business?
Yeah, well I did. I was away, I was living in South Korea for 10 years and then I came back to Ireland in 2013. Not a great time to be coming back, no concrete plans. Did bits and bobs around Castlebar for a while and was about to leave again when this opportunity came up. So tourism and promoting Mayo and promoting Castlebar is always something I've been interested in. So we took the chance and it's working out great.
So what can people, is it all age groups you cater for?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have families down here. You can see our carriages there. They take kids from 12 months up. So it's not a massive big 40, 50 kilometre cycle either. So most of the people we have down here don't have their own bikes at home. When they come visiting, they go out, they do the 8-9 kilometres, they come back, that's it.
Okay, and the route itself?
Yeah. The route itself, well, as I said, starts here at Bikes and Boards, takes in Lough Lannagh, which has come on so much in the last few years, and then goes through town a little bit, and then goes out, following the river, out to the museum in Turlough.
So Fergus, you're going to bring me on the cycle to show me some of these wonderful sights on the way?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a special helmet for you and the whole lot, ready to go.
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Well, the Greenway cycle has brought us right into the heart of Castlebar, to the Bridge Street pub, to experience their weekly famous cappuccino sessions and to find out more about Lough Castlebar.
Lough Castlebar is an initiative we set up a number of years ago just to celebrate all of the amazing things in the town and its potential. So a couple of the initiatives that really would be of particular significance to people visiting the area are the Lough Castlebar card. It's available at all of the accommodation providers in the town, and that celebrates our really strong Indigenous retail sector. There are 20 independent boutiques. It's really unique, really unlike other retail experiences. And the card allows you 10% discount in all of the independent retailers and the Indigenous businesses in the town. And secondly is the loughcastlebar.com events guide. We found there's just so much going on. There's 5 large music venues, theatres, and there was no kind of central place that you could find out what's on tonight, how am I going to plan out my week. So that's what we did. We brought it all together under the auspices of loughcastlebar.com. One of the great success stories of late has been the initiation of the gin trail. So I'm enjoying the Bridge Street signature gin here at the 6 o'clock, and all of the bars and pubs in town have their own unique cocktails, and it's just been a huge success, drawing so many people down to enjoy the experience, along with the incredible artisan food scene that's just so rich and vibrant here.
And just if people want to find out more about it, yeah.
If people would like to find out more about Castlebar and all of the things that you can do and enjoy here, visit loughcastlebar.com or join us on Facebook or Twitter and keep up to date with our many adventures.
Well, we've just completed the 7-kilometre cycle from Castlebar to our final destination, the award-winning National Museum of Ireland Country Life. And I'm going to meet the marketing manager, Frances Toner, to find out more about the museum.
Well, the National Museum of Ireland Country Life was opened in 2001 and we're located at Turlough Park, Castlebar. So it's just a few minutes outside Castlebar, the county town of Mayo, and the museum was open to share Ireland's national folklife collection and to put it on permanent display here in the wonderful setting of Turlough Park.
And so if people are coming in now to visit, what are some of the attractions they can look forward to?
So the exhibition galleries consist of 4 floors. It's modern purpose-built building, And on display here you can see objects, photography, rare archive film footage, which brings to life the way that our ancestors would have lived from about the middle of the 19th century to the middle of the 20th century. So really it's charting the day-to-day lives of our rural ancestors during an extraordinary century of change, revival, revolution, rebellion. So you can really see how ordinary people lived during what was a pretty extraordinary century.
Now, it's a must-visit place for anybody who's any interest in rural life. How long does it take normally to do a tour of the facility?
So visitors to the museum here should factor in about an hour really to go through the galleries, and if you have time you should really try and spend 2.5 to 3 hours here. So you can visit for a short while or you can take a much more in-depth visit. There's plenty to keep people occupied for that amount of time. The museum is set in 30 acres of what was the ancestral home and estate of the Fitzgerald family. So they were landlords in this region. And they would have built their house here, which forms part of the visitor experience at the National Museum of Ireland Country Life. The house that you'll see just in front of the exhibition galleries, it's a Victorian Gothic mansion and it dates from the 1800s. It was designed by a celebrated architect of the day, Thomas Newnham Dean, and as I said, it was the home of the Fitzgerald